this. We keep loving each other like this. We keep going out and battling like this. I promise you, bro. I promise you, bro. It's the top and we ain't stopping. Yes, sir. And we ain't stopping. Yes, sir. On me, dance on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go. Strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go. Strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go. Strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go. All these sacks, the QB scared of dropping back. Get 'em in, go attack. From the kick off to the finals now. We up peak, win the city. SCIA turned up, baby, tune in with me. UCF Jag, the real blood. All you need to know right here, I'm talking real loud update. Start Adam, Chef, Kenny Jakes. Till it really on point, no pump face. PCs to the house, new beat, drop it now. YouTube for my dead news, then my go-to, never take down. What's in it, got nothing on it. Doubt my squad, put something on it. Tell her AC how we run it. Get the ring fitted, cause we coming for strip, sack, touchdown. I better run now. It's 4 down, go punt now. Come through, do buggy, start down. Yeah, strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go. Strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go. Strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go. Strip, sack, touchdown. Hit 'em up, hit 'em up, hit 'em up, go.
Touchdown! DJ Chark, the over-the-shoulder grab.
Mike Leach basically said, hey, you want to lead the country in passing? Minshew, deep ball, separation, DJ Chark. Chark with a stiff arm on board, and Chark is still going.
There's J.J. Watt. Minshew down the sideline.
And what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into another live stream. I know I had one just like this yesterday, but I'm doing another one today because it was a crazy, crazy day today. And I just want to first of all apologize to everybody. And, you know, maybe I shouldn't even be apologizing to you guys. Maybe I should be apologizing to your bosses, to your teachers, maybe even your parents, because I'm a little bit different than people on the radio. You know, this isn't my job. I have my own job. And I know I was very unproductive at my job today because I was spending the whole entire day refreshing Twitter to see what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? That's all I was doing. It was very hard to concentrate on work today because the Jaguars had me going absolutely crazy. Come on, man. What's going on? And guys, I am feeling a little bit better. Actually, I'm feeling a lot better. My throat's still a little scratchy, but we're going to push through this today. But to kind of give you guys an update, you know, as of Tuesday night, we had heard that, look, the Jaguars have locked down Byron Leftwich. It's pretty much a certainty. Then over the course of Wednesday, we hear it's not all that official. And then all of a sudden, contract negotiations started, then it stopped. And then we heard that the Jaguars are now interested in interviewing more head coach candidates. Now, Nathaniel Hackett's going to get on a plane and fly over here, or the Jaguars are going to fly over to Nathaniel Hackett to interview him. And then once that news came out, less than an hour later, the Broncos all of a sudden decided they wanted to hire him. Nathaniel Hackett was one guy that did not want to have any part in Trent Baalke, and he was only going to use the Jaguars to get himself more money from the Broncos, and it did work for him. It was pretty effective with him because the Broncos did wind up hiring him for the amount of money that he wanted, and boom, he got the job there. Then it's like, all right, good, Hackett's off the board. Now all there is Eberflus. You know, Eberflus is always high on a Jaguars list. And then all of a sudden the Bears go out there and they hire Eberflus. So now we're in a situation where it's like, really, you know, the top 3 candidates, 2 of them are gone, and your number 1 is still there, but your number 1, you know, once more, is my camera acting up? Hold on. How is my, it says my coverage is, or my connection is unstable. Let me know. Can you guys hear me okay? Just let me know. I saw one person say it's bad. Okay. I'll keep going while it's at it. Yes, it's good or it's bad? Let me know, because I might try to fix it. We can hear you. Okay. All right, we're good. So now the Jaguars are in a situation where it's like it's only Byron Leftwich of their guys that they really wanted. So now Byron has the Jaguars kind of in his pocket. You know what I mean? The Byron wants the Jaguars and the Jaguars want Byron. But the only thing that's coming into this is good old Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke is always the common denominator. We saw this coming a month ago. A whole entire month ago, we knew that Trent Baalke was going to be an issue. And where it's playing out in real time. Byron Leftwich is holding firm. He basically gave the Jaguars an ultimatum. Said, look, it's either Baalke or it's me. You decide. And if I'm being honest, guys, I think the deal is done. I think it's done. I think Byron Leftwich is here. And I also think we're going to be getting a new general manager. I think from all reports, it sounds like Adrian Wilson is coming here. Adrian Wilson, who is a part of the Arizona Cardinals organization, was an all-pro safety over there, a great football player. And it's looking like he's going to be the GM. The best source that came out of it was a guy that works for the Cardinals. He's basically like the John Oehser of the Cardinals. Let me see if I can find his name here. I've been very active probably too active on Twitter today. All right, his name is Mike Jurecki. He says he's hearing that the Jaguars are close to Adrian Wilson as their GM and Byron Leftwich as head coach. And right now, everyone's wondering what the holdup is. And yeah, J-Man, you're right. Everyone's wondering what the holdup is. I think the holdup on hiring a new GM is the fact that the Jaguars have not been interviewing GMs. And in order to fill the Rooney Rule, even if you're going to hire a black GM, you have to interview more than one minority GM for head coach and GM spot. So, even if you're wanting to hire a minority, you still have to interview more people to fulfill it. So I don't know how they're going to fulfill it. I mean, they can't just interview like, hey, Charlie Strong want to interview for the GM vacancy. You can't do that because you have to go outside the organization, and I think it has to be a legit thing. So, but also I don't know what the rules are. If okay, is it a situation where the Jaguars hire on Byron Leftwich and he does his intro or whatever, and then they fire Baalke the next day? And then they open it up and start interviewing. Is that how it's going to be? I don't know. It's super, super interesting. But all I know is that the Jaguars have botched this thing. They botched it as much as they could because, look, no one wants to work with freaking Trent Baalke. And everybody knew it. I mean, the fans are the least connected people to the NFL organization. And all of us saw this coming from a while away. And, I was saying people on Twitter like this, look, there's many people out there that wish their parent loved them as much as Shad Khan loves Trent Baalke. I don't understand the stranglehold that Baalke has on Shad Khan, but Shad Khan just has this crazy love for him. It's unreal. It's unreal just how much this guy controls him. But yeah, I would say it's and even Tom McManus, he told me, he said, look, I have two guys that I'm very close to that are far apart from each other. They're not the same people from the same organization. Both of them said that, yeah, it sounded like Adrian Wilson and Byron Leftwich are going to be the answer, or going to come to Jacksonville. And I think it would be incredible. I think it'd be incredible because, look, we're going from, a place where we had, Tom Coughlin, Urban Meyer, Trent Baalke, just a bunch of old white assholes. And we need to build a place where, look, players can trust the front office and organization, and players can maybe even relate to the front office and organization. Shout out to Kyle Donovan with a $5 donation. There's a rumor that Leftwich is pushing for Adrian Wilson for GM as part of agreeing to be coach. Yeah, and it's looking like that's going to be in place. So, and thanks so much for the donation. And if and when that happens, like I said, now that brings in some guys that can be relatable. I mean, both Byron Leftwich and Adrian Wilson played in the NFL. Adrian Wilson was an all-pro safety. Byron Leftwich was a first-round pick, starting quarterback. He was a backup quarterback, and now he's worked his way up the coaching ranks from quarterbacks coach to offensive coordinator, and Super Bowl winner as a player and head coach. You know what I mean? So that's good. Obviously, they're players. They're also younger. They're both in, I think, their 40s. How old is Adrian Wilson? Give me 1 second. Adrian Wilson, age 42 years old. So I think both of them are actually 42 years old. Let me see what Byron Leftwich is. Yeah, they're both 42 years old. So they're younger. I mean, they're not like 30s. They're not Sean McVay getting hired in here at 30 years old. So that's good. And you look at I hate to bring this up, but you look at the demographic of most football players. It's mostly African American guys. And look, we would turn into the very first, I think the first ever organization where the owner, the head coach, and GM, they're all minorities. And I think that would be honestly pretty big. You know what I mean? It'd be heading into a brand new direction and a refreshing new direction where, you don't have a bunch of just kind of assholes running the ship. You all of a sudden have guys that, look, people go to bat for these guys, man. People love Adrian Wilson. People love Byron Leftwich. I've heard nothing negative about it. And all of a sudden, maybe you can get players that come in here and can demand the room from the start. You know what I mean? And I mean, we just don't have enough trust. Jaguars go out there and they had a generational head coach and GM opening in 2021. And what do? They go out there and they completely shit the bed. Like, what do you do? Like literally last year, I say it was a generational job opening for both the GM and head coach. You had a GM who had 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks, all this free agency money to spend. And you had a head coach that was able to come in here and say, look, you get to coach Trevor Lawrence, a generational prospect. These openings don't come very often. And what does Shad Khan do? He hires Urban Meyer, and Urban Meyer retains the shit in the organization, and then all of a sudden a clean house doesn't happen. You know what I mean? We were looking for a completely new regime, and all of a sudden you just bring in Urban Meyer and you're still promoting guys from within. You know what I mean? It was absolutely ridiculous. But now is the time to fix things. Now is the time to bring in guys that players can respect, players can play for, and players can trust. I know, like back when Dave Caldwell was GM, Jalen Ramsey basically exposed the fact that, look, when I was doing things wrong, Dave Caldwell would basically, I would pass him by in the hallway. He wouldn't say anything to me. But if he had an issue with me, he would text my agent. My agent he'd say, hey, can you tell Jalen do this? Can you tell Jalen do that? Dave Caldwell was too much of a pussy to say anything to his face. Adrian Wilson will not be like that. I get the feeling that Adrian Wilson is going to tell you exactly how he feels to your face because he ain't afraid of anybody. He's not going to feel like any player is over him. Dave Caldwell was afraid of Jalen Ramsey. We don't need that kind of stuff in the organization. You know what I mean? We had Urban Meyer who did not know what he was doing. And I've had bosses similar to Urban Meyer. I'm not going to say he's going around kicking people, but I knew one person that was in here that was like that was a couple levels over me, but he didn't know what he was doing. So he was like, okay, you know what my role is? My role is just to intimidate the shit out of people to maximize their efforts and abilities. No, that's not the way you do things, man. And that's not the way this era of people respond, especially me. That's not how I responded. Shout out to Be New of the $5 donation. How you feeling, bro? A lot better. A lot better. I was struggling last night. Got to make sure to drink my water. But thank you very much for the donation. We're going to run it here. And we're going to continue to monitor the situation, man, because, it's tiring. And I know you guys are. If any of you guys were with me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are, man, we're refreshing Twitter. We're going crazy, looking everywhere for any kind of insight. And it's, we hear a couple birdies here and there, but, nothing official. I know, and I do believe that ultimately direction will be Byron Leftwich and not Trent Baalke, and Adrian Wilson. I do believe that's the direction. It's just, when does it become official, and when can it become official? You know what I mean? And what order does this happen? Because I remember back when, Doug Marrone was hired, and then like a minute later it was announced that Tom Coughlin's going to be the EVP. Is it going to be similar like that, where it's all of a sudden like, no, where it's like Byron Leftwich is in, Adrian Wilson is in, boom, Trent Baalke has been fired. But right now, you have to fulfill the Rooney Rule. But how can you fulfill the Rooney Rule right now if your GM hasn't been fired yet? Doesn't Trent Baalke have to be fired first, and then you have to go through and interview your guys, even though you know that Adrian Wilson is going to be your guy? So do you have to go out there and like find some random minority to interview just to, I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe Adrian Wilson going to say, hey, interview this guy. And because I want you to interview that guy because I want him a part of my thing. So you can go interview him and talk to him, and then he can, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the Rooney Rule. I don't know how those conversations go. Obviously, I'm not up to all that kind of stuff. But shout out to everyone in here, man. 326 people in here. Holy cow. It's a lot of people. A lot of passionate Jags fans who all want answers just like me, man. We're definitely dying for answers. So let me see something real quick. Dude, I'm gonna see. Oh. I'm gonna message a former player, see if he wants to come in here. All right. Yeah, so yeah, man. Yeah, Jay says like the video, guys. Yeah. Will says, I like the hat you're wearing. Yeah, dude, this hat, this is like I only have this hat because I'm a YouTuber, and I only wear this hat during videos. This hat never leaves here because it's too clean. If I take this thing out in public, it's gonna be a wreck. So yeah, that's the reason why I have it. Washington State Jags fan in the building. What's up, man? He won't pass up that. Heck yeah. Be new. Baalke trying to muddy the waters, bro. Get him out of there. I'm happy Tony Khan is part of the process. Yeah, that's yeah. That and Tony Khan, apparently he's been impressing a lot of people throughout the process. Apparently a lot of people like Tony Khan, and man, it's just crazy to me how like so many people have just been speaking against Trent Baalke. I will not work with him. I will not work with him. But yet he keeps a job. It's crazy, man. Like how to I don't understand how that works. Like how you can just so adamantly defend a guy like that. It's beyond me. It'll all be fine and work out. I think Byron really going to change the culture of this team. Yeah, I think so too, man. Because he's actually a guy that people can respect and whatnot. Jagging off with the $2 donation, Baalke got explicit photos of Khan. Dude, it's the only reason. It's the only way, dude. Like I don't understand it. Like I said, man, there's so many neglected children out there that would love to have the kind of love that Shad Khan has toward Trent Baalke that, so many kids would like to have with their parents. You know what I mean? It's a sad story, but I'm just wondering I'm wondering how it's going to work. Like I said, like, is all this news going to drop at once where it's like, we're just going to get bombarded with Byron Leftwich, Adrian Wilson in, Trent Baalke out, or how is that going to work? You know what I mean? I just, I don't know how it's going to work. So I'm hoping that it all comes in at once, because I really, dude, I can't stand to wait any longer, man. I can't stand to, to be around sitting here waiting for shit to come in like this, because it's dreadful, man. Like I said, I was sitting there all day refreshing Twitter. Like, it's not healthy for me to be on Twitter as long as I was today, man. Like, I need to like go out and take a walk or something. Especially me right now, man. I got COVID. I can't go anywhere. I'm on lockdown. It's not healthy, man. Llama guy with a $2 donation. Beep beep, cons of sheep. That's true, man. That's true. Nobody talked about Jason Garrett. Yeah, there were people. I don't. Why do we want Jason Garrett? Why is that a hot name? I'm interested in the guys that like Byron Leftwich. Some of the guys that he has on his short list. One is like Tony Garver. I think his name is Tony Garver. No, it's Tony Foot, right? Jeez, I should know these names. Who are the names of the guys he wants to bring in? There's Larry Foot. Yeah, Larry Foot. So Larry Foot, Donovan with a $5 donation. You should bring Uche Noweri on the form. Former Jags channel is great. He clowned out for this Colts game. Y'all have to hit him up. I know he has a YouTube channel. I'm very bad because me, with my live streams and stuff, I'm very just spontaneous. I just go on and I need to be better about reaching out to people. I will admit, I got to be better about bringing people on here. It's just sometimes I just try to do this when I have time, and sometimes I don't know when I have time because right now I have a few different jobs. I'm in grad school right now. I was in class just now, my virtual class, and I just got off and did this. So yeah, I'll hit him up, man. Nick for the $5 donation. Would you prefer to sign Godwin and re-sign Chark, or let Chark go and sign Godwin plus Christian Kirk? Depends what Christian Kirk's price tag is. I'd probably rather. See, the thing is, I think Chark only signs a 1-year deal. I think he's going to be pretty affordable because he's going to be like a 1-year high upside type of deal. Like a 1-year deal high upside because I think he has the ability to potentially earn a multi-year deal. So he might gamble on himself. But he has to prove it because no one's going to go out there and sign him to a lot of money because he's really only had 1 good year. Out of 4 years, he's had 1 good year. So, he's going to have a 1,000-yard season before someone gives him the bag. That's for sure. But thank you, Nick and Kyle, for the donations. DDS says, Bucks fan here. Been a Leftwich fan since Marshall. He'd be a hell of a get for the Jags. Rooting for him and the city of Jacksonville. Heck yeah. That's we appreciate it, man. And I think we got him. It's just a matter of when is this allowed to become official? You know what I mean? I don't know. So it's going to be fascinating to watch because we're all absolutely dying for it. That's for damn sure. Gary Lawrence in the building. What's up, bro? Hope you've been well. It's Reese in the building. What's up, man? Thanks everyone for being here, man. We got a live and popping crew, 364 people. I love it. So I'm gonna look up Larry Foote. So Larry Foote is the guy that is currently the the outside linebackers coach for the Buccaneers. He actually coached with Byron Leftwich back in the day, and he's 41 years old. So he would most likely be defensive coordinator. And who's the other guy? It was Garver or something. Garver. Kevin Garver. Okay. He says, "Did you hear AR-15 only had picks in Jack? Is that right? Yeah, and Big Cat Country tweeted out about Byron Leftwich being the Jags head coach potentially, and he actually liked the tweet. So he's watching. And people say he wouldn't come back. He would come back. Unless he didn't like the city of Jacksonville, which I don't feel like Al Robinson, I don't get the feeling that he hated Jacksonville. He just hated Bortles and probably Coughlin, just the whole situation while he was here. Yeah, so Kevin Garver, 34 years old. So I don't know. You'd be going with a whole entire youth movement in that case. So that'd be interesting. So I look up, what the hell? Look. I got to share this with you guys. Like, look, because you know how if you go and search something on Google, like I search up Kevin Garver. People also ask, where's Byron Leftwich now? Is Byron Leftwich black? Who is offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers? Who is like what the hell? Who's Googling this? Oh, that's weird. But yeah, thought I'd share that. Made me chuckle. Damon with a $5 donation says, glad you're feeling better. Leftwich is going to be great for Jacksonville. He'll be on a 30 for 30 one day. Heard it here first. Thank you for the donation. And thank you for the kind words. Yes, I appreciate it, man. I'm feeling a lot better. And even as I'm talking through and just talking Jaguars with you guys, I feeling better, man. Feeling better. So I appreciate that, man. And yeah, hopefully this time tomorrow. I mean, I really thought something might have become official today by the time I did this stream, but we're still in waiting right now, man. We're still in waiting. So yeah. And I'm hoping this time tomorrow. I really don't want to do another one of these streams tomorrow talking about the crap that went on. Because look, in the span of today, we went from, basically Byron Leftwich giving an ultimatum to the Jaguars saying it's Baalke or it's me. And then we went to the Jaguars now want to have another interview with Nate Hackett. And then Nate Hackett goes and gets hired. And then all of a sudden, Eberflus goes out there and gets hired. And then we're sitting here like twiddling our thumbs. And then the Adrian Wilson reports come out from that guy in Arizona about like 11:30 or something like that today. And it was just, it was a wild day. And then we had a bunch of nothing, but a bunch of people out there are all, pretty much saying that, look, it's going to be Byron and Adrian Wilson. So I wouldn't be freaking out too much, guys. I understand we're kind of impatient because, we want this done now, but I would be pretty happy with where we're at right now, guys. And the fact that the Jaguars have not been we haven't heard any interview news, like the Jaguars aren't having second interviews with this and that guy. It's a good sign. They know that they're going to get something done. It's just a matter of when is it going to get done and how is it going to get done? That's really the question. Shout out to Debo with a $5 donation. He says, I don't know how, but the Jags found a way to screw this up. And in typical Jags fashion, we will get our guy, but the most Jags way possible. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like the Jaguars, I guarantee you they went out there and they lowballed Byron Leftwich. And Byron Leftwich's agent does not go for that. He is very much known to be a guy that does not, that he gets the most out of his clients. Like he'll squeeze everything out of, the signing party like it was the end of a toothpaste bottle. You know what I mean? Like, so Byron's going to get his money and Byron's going to get what he wants. And hopefully, Byron gets a decent amount of control where, look, Byron gets to, kind of decide his coaching staff. He gets to decide his GM, and then the GM and the head coach can work in lockstep when it comes to, what kind of players they want to bring in here, how they want to bring in these players, and, just have a good relationship like that. Because, the big bad thing about Baalke that former head coaches said is that, look, like he would never ask us what kind of players that we wanted. You know what I mean? He would just go out there and draft guys, and then we just had to work with them. That's not how it's supposed to work. And this guy is our freaking GM. Like, it's pretty terrible, man. But thank you, Debo, for the donation. Byron's agent is putting on a negotiating clinic right now. Yeah, man. It's been going on for a couple days now, I guess. I don't know. It just stinks because we don't know how official things are. So, you know what I mean? We don't know where things are at. I remember this time last year, everybody was freaking out that, oh, is Urban Meyer still deciding if he wants to be coach? What's he doing? Things are taking, but it's it felt like it became official, and then the days kind of went on. And that's all contract stuff. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, with Byron Leftwich, he because I guess the New Orleans Saints have requested to interview Byron Leftwich, but man, that's a terrible situation with the Saints, man. You're coming Like that might be worse. That might be a worse spot than the Texans from last year, man. They are like Sean Payton left that place in the worst place than Urban Meyer left the Florida Gators back in the day. What in 2009? I mean, they're in cap space hell. They have no quarterback. I don't think Byron Leftwich is chewing at the bit to coach Jameis Winston, while they're in cap hell. You know what I mean? So, it's doesn't have a lot of really doesn't have a lot of leverage in that way, but I don't know. I think it's like I said, guys. I think it's going to get done. It's just a matter of when the Saints can have him. Who? The Saints can have Leftwich. Clarence says Shad is listening to Trent. We ain't never going to get a coach decent enough to want to come here if we don't get Byron. We're gonna get Byron. I wouldn't worry about it, man. It's just also the big question is like apparently a lot of people are saying like trusted sources that Trent Baalke will stay with the Jaguars, but in a different role. So I can't imagine it's going to be like an EVP or anything because the thing is like Byron doesn't want to have to report or work side by side with Trent Baalke. So maybe it's a remember when Brian Sexton got demoted from the Jags voice and now he's doing weird sound bits for Jaguars like media. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe like I was saying on Twitter, I was like the perfect job for Trent Baalke would be the guy that's in the Jaguar stadium that you guys ever have nosebleed seats and you try to sneak up closer to get into the field and then you have like the stadium ushers checking your ticket stuff to make sure you're in the right spot. That would be the perfect job for Trent Baalke because he's enough of an asshole to tell you know what, get your ass back there. Get out of these seats. It's just my thoughts. Yeah, Andrew says Payton is going to Dallas next year. Yeah, you got to feel like he's he's going to go the Bruce Arians way where he retires for a year then comes back because I don't I think he saw the situation in New Orleans and he's like I want out. And a lot of people are wondering, hey, why can't we go after Sean Payton? Look, if Sean Payton waited until like a couple days ago to leave, he's not interested in like coaching anywhere else this year because he wouldn't go this late in the process looking for another job. And one fascinating thing about just the coach, about everything going on is Jim Caldwell and Doug Peterson, are they going to get jobs anywhere? Is there any love for these former head coaches? I mean, I thought the first guys off the coaching rip that would get hired were, the former Super Bowl champion Doug Peterson and Jim Caldwell, Mr. Respectable. No one has anything bad to say about him, Jim Caldwell. These seem like the sure bet guys, but no, man, it's, it hasn't been like that. So yeah. We want Leftwich. Dude, we all want Leftwich. All 400. If you guys want Leftwich, man, drop likes, man. We got 402 people in here. 415. I don't know if outside of actually doing a Jags game live stream, I don't think I've ever had this many people. So shout out to everyone in here. If you're new here, my name is UCF Jaguar. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UCF_Jaguar. I've been doing this. I've actually been on YouTube. Last Friday was my 5-year anniversary on YouTube. I've been doing YouTube videos for 5 years, holding it down. It's been a great time. It's been a blessing. I did not know where it would take me and the different paths that it would lead me and all the different people that I would be able to, interact with, but it's been a complete blessing. And I appreciate everybody so much for being here. And, if you guys want to hit the subscribe button, man, be a part of this community. And, we try to do this all the time. It's Fred Taylor's birthday. So happy birthday to Fred. I think he's like 44 or 46 right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got to get rid of, I'll get rid of him. Oh man, I keep forgetting, man. I got to get rid of that. Maybe put Urban Meyer in like a dumpster. I don't know. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, Jaguar, you got the longest longevity though. You've been around a couple years longer than me. It's all about a consistency, man. Me and Jaguar, we've seen plenty of people start up the YouTube channels in the podcast, but a lot of them don't hang around. So it's you know, it's all about keeping around. UCF, glad you're feeling better, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Duval, Vic Fangio, DC. We'll see. Yes, Leftwich. Brendan, says 400 viewers. My boy's growing fast. I know, man. I know. Shout out to Austin Hughes for becoming a member of the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, man. You have been gifted the rights of your Duval emojis, so drop them down below. And I'm going to have a mock draft coming up very soon for the members of the channel. I'm going to try to drop that maybe Monday or Tuesday, so we'll get a mock draft going. So it'll be cool, man. I definitely want to, and I want to bring back the monthly Zoom calls I would do with you guys. So, definitely be on the lookout for that. There we go. UCF Jag for head coach. No, I don't think so, man. No. I'm sorry. I'm pretty good at this YouTube stuff. I'm pretty good at acting like I know what I'm doing, but no, dude. If you guys want the Jaguars to be great, don't have me a head coach. I'll be pulling an Urban Meyer. I'll be leaving a building having other people do game planning for me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. At least I'll be able to admit it, unlike Urban Meyer. Hutchinson or Thibodeau, I'd go Hutchinson. Baalke's new position with the Jaguars will be the stadium's janitor. I know, man. Or the ticket scanner guy. Scan your ticket as you get into the games. JagFan 85 will be my OC. Oh, it's very, very sweet. Very sweet of you. UCF, we need to get Godwin and Al Robinson. We'll see. I'm not as high on Al Robinson just because I don't know. Like, does Al Robinson? Don't you guys get the feeling that he doesn't really love? Like, he doesn't play like he loves the game of football. And we need speedy guys, man. Like, I'd rather replace Al Robinson with someone like probably Mike Williams or I don't know, someone that has a little bit more speed. I just if we're gonna get Godwin, I'd rather. I mean, I don't mind if we can't get Godwin and Al Robinson's all we can get. I guess I don't mind it, but. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm especially after last year. I just don't get the feeling that Al Robinson truly loves it. How do you guys feel about that? Lawrence, favorite, let's go. I've been missed here. There you go, man. Welcome back, my guy. I had one person leave a comment. He says he's in Ireland. It's like really early. God, I lost his comment. Oh, there we go. Steven says, hey, UCF, 3:04 a.m. here in Ireland. Trying to keep my eyes open, waiting on news. No news soon. Yeah, you got to wait till 1 a.m. United States time or Jacksonville time to find Jags news because that's what time they fired Urban Meyer. Yeah. To hell with speed. I want someone that don't drop the damn ball. Hey, Calvin Ridley. Let's bring Calvin Ridley in here. Christian Kirk is a speedy guy. I like Christian Kirk. I'm still exploring how the hell we can get Calvin Ridley. I know people tell me like all this mental health and this type of stuff, but I mean, when I look at it, man, like do your homework on Calvin Ridley because there's nobody out there that can sit here and tell me that Jaguars don't need a guy like Calvin Ridley. But hey, the Adrian Wilson was a part of the Arizona Cardinals, and look, that team found out how to get wide receivers. They have like at least four wide receivers better than anybody on our team. DeAndre Hopkins, Rondell Moore, Christian Kirk, AJ Green, and probably even more. I mean, they figured out how to get talent, man. Throw the bag at Devontae Adams. Do whatever it takes to bring him. Yeah, you know who else is saying they need to get Devontae Adams? Every other fan base out there. So I don't know how it's gonna. I mean, they're gonna at the very least franchise tag him, and then the only way you can get him is through like a trade potentially. So we'll see. Adams or bust. Yeah, you might. I mean, that'd obviously be the move, but maybe with Aaron Rodgers moving, who knows? Ridley is done just like Blackman. We'll see. I mean, unless you actually know Calvin Ridley personally, I don't think it's kind of hard to tell, right? I think it's kind of hard to tell. Big Ben, what did this person say? UCF, I think everybody gets franchise tag. I think I think there's a very good chance of that too, man. I think there's a very good chance of that too. B News says, stay away from Calvin Ridley, bro. I live in Atlanta. Listen to 92.9 The Game. Trust, bro. Don't need. Okay. Well, yeah, obviously, if you're in Atlanta and you're connected to Atlanta radio, and I'm sure a lot of them have some decent sources. Look, if that's a stay away situation, then, we've been there, man. We had CJ Henderson, and that was, we had all these I didn't realize how many mental health experts I had on my channel and my comment section until, CJ Henderson's business went down, man. Everybody knew his story. So yeah, and that's a headache I don't want to deal with. If he truly, if they do their homework and you're right, and it's not a good situation, then yeah, we should probably stay away. But thank you for the donation. Thank you for the heads up on that. Could Godwin go to the Jag? Yeah. The Bucs said that they were wanting to. They're gonna sign him, but they said that before he got injured. Now with the Bucs, who knows, man? Now, Tom Brady might be out. If Tom Brady's out, then maybe they had to go get into the, maybe the quarterback. There's gonna be movement. Sounds like Aaron Rodgers is out. Imagine if the Bucs go from Tom Brady to Aaron Rodgers. Maybe Russell Wilson goes somewhere. I don't know, man. We'll see. J-Man in the building. What's up, J-Man? We need players with the right mindset and personality traits. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we need a lot of stuff when we need guys. We just need the main thing is we need coaches that can we need coaches that can sell a great culture. We need coaches that can sell that and players that will buy into it, because look, Urban Meyer, I think he was able to con some people and fool some people early on. And then when the rubber met the road, players were like, what the hell is going on with this guy? And there were reports coming out about him in OTAs in April. Pete Prisco was, out here reporting about it really early on. So it just, man, it just never worked from the beginning. How do you feel about Darren Arnold? I like Dan Arnold. Yeah, okay. I gotta drink some water. You're right. And I do like a lot of the players on the Jaguars. It's just man, we got to find our way to get that elite top edge talent, man. And it sucks we are in a draft right now, because I do want to get a guy like Evan Neal, but we don't need a tackle right now, man. I want to re-sign Cam Robinson because, look, I think he only allowed 2 sacks last year. He's a good player, and we obviously had Walker Little. But we need a wide receiver 1. We need a tight end 1. We need a top end, defensive end, defensive tackle. There's a lot of we just need playmakers around the field, man, and offense, defense. We just need guys that fly around, and we got a lot of work to do, man. We got a lot of work to do. Brandon says, I'm still shocked at the fact that was that bad, and I was least expecting decent football, but somehow, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, it sucked, man. We were so freaking excited. We had the biggest Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer boners, and I was there week 1 in Houston. I was there, man. Me, my dad, and my brother were there in our teal, white, black Trevor Lawrence jerseys. And at one point, the Jaguars were losing 34-7 that game. And you put things in perspective. And quickly, before I get into that, shout out to Debo for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you so much, man. You can drop your Duval emojis down below, man. Welcome to the YouTube membership, my man. And yeah, that game should have been a real indication of what was going to come, because the Jaguars at one point were down 34-7 that game. The Jaguars, when you looked at the head coach openings, the Jaguars were this most attractive and the Texans were this least attractive. And the Jaguars were thoroughly outcoached by David Culley. You know what I mean? And James Robinson had 5 carries that game. Carlos Hyde had more carries than him that game. And The Jaguars throw the ball 50-plus times. This is the freaking Texans, man. The Texans had a terrible offseason. They had a terrible team, and we went out there, and it looked like they were like going to the Super Bowl that year. This is terrible, man. It was just terrible. Trouble says, I love your podcast. Thanks, bro. I love you too, bro. I'm coached twice by Coley. Dude, Coley took Urban Meyer and Darrell Bevel to school. Dude, that we got to break that streak, man. 8 losses in a row to the Texans. My God, man, that's terrible. Campbell has so much potential, too. He could be good, too. Yeah, you bring up a good point, bro, because, you know, I was talking to Tom McManus on Irrelevant earlier, and, you know, he's talking about, oh, yeah, the Jaguars need to come in here. They need to bring in talent, you know, all that stuff. And I said, look, like, one thing the Jaguars need to do, now we don't talk about a lot, but, you know, once this talent is here, we got to learn how to take it to the next level, not make them regress. I mean, how many times do players have great rookie seasons and they disappear after that? Laviska Shenault had a great rookie season, disappeared. Devon Hamilton, you know, you can go back to like Jawan Taylor. And I always make the point of like every year, I say this on my YouTube channel every single year, and it remains true for every single year. Like what offensive skill player has ever had back-to-back good seasons? Name me one. You cannot name one since Maurice Jones-Drew. No offensive skill player. And I guess, I don't know if you want to include James Robinson in that, but he didn't have a great year this year. He got injured. You know, maybe, I mean, obviously that was a little bit unlucky, but there's literally been no offensive skill player that has had back-to-back good years. You know what I mean? Like DJ Chark had a 1,000-yard season, disappeared. You know, Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson didn't have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look up. Let me see. I'm looking up. Okay. Yeah, so Allen Robinson, 2014, 548 receiving yards. 2015, 1,400 receiving yards. 14 touchdowns. In the following year, 883 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. I don't know, man. That's not great back-to-back years to me. I mean, I guess he had a decent 2016 season, but I don't know. I wouldn't count that. Then the next year, 1 reception, 17 yards. Tore his ACL. That was rough. We took Visca before Deebo Samuel. Yeah, that's and you guys want to visit a terrible draft class, man. Look at the 2020 draft class. It is awful. Like CJ Henderson, Kayvon Chason, Laviska Shenault. Like, talk about thanks, Dave. Thanks for sending us thanks for leaving it's like you left an upper decker shit in your toilet and left your house without flushing. That's literally what Dave Caldwell did in his last draft. It was terrible, man. It was terrible. I just want a game changer wide receivers, man. Every team, yeah, I mean, every team has a couple of great ones, and it was terrible this year. Like trotting out like Taven Austin or trotting out there like, man, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, Ben Barch was fine. But like when you look at that draft, like it's literally only Devon Hamilton and Ben Barch that are like decent. And that was 1 year ago. 1 year ago, all you have to look at is Devon Hamilton and Ben Barch. That's the reasons why we're bad. A lot of people, and I made this argument with people, like this 2021 was year 2 of a rebuild. 2020 was the first year of a rebuild. We got rid of everybody before the season, and we had a lot of draft picks in 2020. And the reason 2021 feels like the first year of a rebuild is because, you know, first of all, we sucked, but also, you know, where was the 2020 draft class? They were going into their second year. You know, usually great draft class. I mean, look at what the 2017 draft class did their second year. or no, the 2016, we had Jalen Ramsey, Miles Jack, Unique Ngakoue. You know what I mean? Those guys had big impacts their second year. Our version of that this year was Kayvon Chason and, Devon Hamilton and I guess Ben Bartz. It's like, no, like we completely shit the bed that draft class, man. It was not good. James says, I think the problem is we're not patient because most of our draft picks go elsewhere and do well. I mean, look at the 2020 draft class. How patient do I have to be, man? CJ Henderson isn't even on the team anymore. Kayvon Chason. Do I need to be patient with Kayvon Chason? I don't know, man. Our problem is we're not drafting very well. And our problem is, like, when we do get talent, like I said, we don't elevate the talent at all. I think it's, yeah, I don't know. There might be some truth to that, but at the end of the day, like, we go and revisit draft classes, and like, I'm pretty sure if we drafted Justin Jefferson over Kayvon Chason, we'd be in a lot better position. Oh my God, could you imagine if we had Justin Jefferson on our team right now? Then we wouldn't be trying to go crazy, trying to, like, right now we're getting desperate trying to grab receivers. I mean, if someone made a compelling argument to me, I wouldn't be against grabbing a receiver at pick number 1. Because look, if you were to guarantee me a guy like Justin Jefferson at pick number 1, I would take that guy. I would take him right now. If you were to guarantee me a Justin Jefferson, you know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that's not worth number 1 overall pick. That's all I'm saying. But that's because I'm in desperation mode, man. I want a wide receiver really bad. Tony P in a building. What's up, bro? Welcome in here, man. Bruce says same thing I said. Yeah. Or yeah. I mean, I think it's easier to probably find a Justin Jefferson just because, like, he's just a nice athletic guy. He's not super crazy size or anything, but yeah. Took Caleb on 2 picks for Justin Jefferson and Josh Oliver over Terry McLaurin. Yeah, I mean, do we go back? If you guys want to fucking go into depression, go revisit our past draft classes, man. They'll all greatly disappoint you. That's for damn sure. Does Baalke firing get announced before Byron and Wilson are announced? I don't know, man. But yeah, like, if you revisit, like, if you look at the top 5 rushing or receiving yard leaders this year, number 1 was Cooper Kupp. It was a 3rd round pick. Let me see real quick. Hold on. Top 5 receivers 2021. Number 1 was Devontae. Wait, what? No, that's not right. Here we go. Okay, number 1 in receiving yards was Cooper. What? This is postseason stats. I saw Gabe Davis on here. I'm like, no, that ain't right. 2021 regular season. Okay. Trying to play games with me, man. I'm a one-man producer here, bro. Okay. So Cooper Kupp, number 1 in receiving yards. He was a 3rd round pick. Justin Jefferson was number 20, like 6 or 27 overall. Let me see. I think he was number 25 overall. I'll just say the time for. He was in the 20s. Devontae Adams, 2nd round pick. Jamar Chase, number 5 overall pick. Deebo Samuel, he was a 2nd round pick. Tyreek Hill was like a 7th round pick. Stephon Diggs was a 4th round pick. Tyler Lockett was a 3rd round pick. Don't sit here and tell me that there is no great receiver at number 1. Look, there's going to be an incredible, at least one incredible receiver in this draft. Find him. Find that guy. Like I said, look, they're all over. Like I said, 3rd round pick, 20s, 2nd round pick, like, they're all over the first 3 rounds, man. Just find them. No excuses, man. And I hate when people sit here, like, and I talk about the Jaguars drafting, like earlier, I made a tweet this week. I was like, man, GMs get paid millions of dollars to draft like Sam Darnold over Josh Allen. and Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes, and someone said to me, "Oh, no one knew Josh Allen was going to be, great." I'm like, well, the Bills did. The Bills traded up to get him. They thought he was going to be pretty damn good. Oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes, people thought he would be good. The Chiefs traded from 20 to 10 to get him. I mean, if there's guys that go in the third round, like Dak Prescott was a 4th round pick, Russell Wilson was a 3rd round pick. Okay, fine, you missed out, whatever. But don't sit here like these guys get paid millions of dollars. I'm not going to give them slack and be like, you know what, it's fine because 9 other GMs made a mistake. No, find these guys and go get them, man. Like good organizations draft well, and we don't. We have not been drafting well. You know what I mean? So just I'm done making excuses for like these shitty drafts and being like, oh, well, you would have done that too. Yeah, me, I'm a fucking YouTuber sitting in my room. I've got all this other shit going on. It's not my full-time job to be making millions of dollars and fucking up draft picks. It's not my job. And I don't pretend to be a draft expert. If I was getting paid millions of dollars to draft players, I'd be grinding my ass off, watching tape, doing all this stuff and figuring out the right guys. And look, if I didn't get that right, then my head would be on the I don't know, my head would be on a pike, and I'll have to live by it. And if I get fired, I'll be laughing at the bank with my millions of dollars. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, I wasn't out there saying Josh Allen's going to be great. Yeah, I wasn't, because I didn't do any work on Josh Allen. And if I'm out there doing work and I get Josh Allen right, what do I get? I get nothing. So that's why I don't study draft prospects super in depth, because it's like, what do I get from it? I remember back in like 2017, I think it was 2017. I studied the draft really hard, and I was going over draft prospects, and I was ranking different guys. And then the Jaguars drafted nobody I wanted to draft, and the Titans got a couple of my guys, and I was like, I spent hours of my time doing what? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just me. Due to Williams tearing an ACL, Dotson rising up boards, projected 1st round pick. I don't know. So far, I really like Garrett Wilson, man. I don't know if you guys have watched Garrett Wilson, but he's smooth, man. He's a smooth player. But yeah, I mean, I'm begging for someone to talk me into drafting a wide receiver number 1. That's all I'm saying. Someone make me the argument, and we'll make it happen. Chachi says UCF scroll up. I don't know what I'm scrolling up to, or else I would. I wish I was a fly on the wall just here time of bullshit. Yeah, I would love to know how the interviews go. Like, if Shad Khan's alone, he'll just be like, so, how many points is a touchdown? Okay, 6. Okay. How many players are allowed on the field at once? 22. Wow, this guy's good. How many yards is a holding penalty? My God, this guy is good. This guy is answering everything right. Man, I just can't imagine. But shout out to everybody in here, man. 404 people. Huge shout out to everyone in here, man. I'm probably going to end it here soon. Going on an hour now. I got to let my voice rest up. Chachi says, is it true we can't announce till we do one more interview? That's the big, that's the big question, is like, when it comes to the GM interview, like, did they have to announce that Baalke is fired and then go through your Rooney Rule stuff to, then ensure Adrian Wilson is the GM? I don't know, man. I'm not football smart enough to know, and maybe I should have smarter people on this show with me to tell me, but who knows. Patrick says, I sound better than yesterday. Hey, the most important thing is I look better than yesterday, because the face is what makes the money, if you know what I mean. So yeah, best player in the draft is Stingley, Chemist prospect. All right, the cornerback, I see you. Doesn't matter who the head coach is. We need better players like Ramsey and Campbell. Hey, that's facts. That's facts. Are you high? I'm high on life, Mr. Scummy. I'm high on life. I'm high on Byron Leftwich, if you know what I mean. But all right, guys. Thanks for being here, man. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UCF_Jaguar. And also, guys, go join the Relevant app. Tom McManus and we do a show over there. So if you join Relevant, and here, I'll put this graphic up. Join Relevant and go join or download Relevant. Join the Jaguars Fanatics vibe. I do shows with Tom McManus over there every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And also, if you guys go over there, download the app. We did an episode just today talking about it all. So if you guys want some bonus coverage of myself with Tom McManus in the mix, go over there and do that. So thanks everyone for being here. Shout out to Gary Lawrence. Shout out to Skip. Jesus in the building. I want to get high, but I just got my wisdom teeth out. All right. That sounds good, man. Sounds good. One of those sounds good, not the other one. But yeah, man. Eyes and coughs give it away. Nah. If you know, you know. If the real OGs that know me know the reason why I'm coughing. It does not have anything to do with that. Jared says, cheers, UCF. Thanks for a lot. Yeah, shout out to all you guys, man. We had like 350 plus people the whole time, man. It's incredible. I need to do these live streams more often if I'm going to be bringing in some numbers like that, man. It gives me the biggest live stream YouTube boner. So, yeah, man. Thanks, guys. Go Jags. And I'll be talking with you guys. I'll be posting another video or live stream tomorrow. One of the two. All right, guys. Be well.